The Boomer Sooners just landed another big fish to continue their red-hot recruiting month in July. Before we get into that, go ahead and hit subscribe for me. Just press it. Leave a comment. Give a like. Join the discussion. Let me know what your thoughts are on this kid that the Sooners just got a commitment from the West Coast. Defensive back Jasiah Wagoner from Spanaway, Washington. Big get for Coach Brent Venables, especially with the momentum he's been building in July. This makes the 8th recruit this month. And 6 of those 8 are rated 4-star or higher. I know some other teams in the conference specifically are getting a lot more hype around the recruits that they're signing. But if you look at this class that Venables and his staff are putting together, it's a special class, and I believe it'll be a special group. And I also think they have the top quarterback in the country, and not just because he won the Elite 11, but because of the competition that he's playing with week in and week out at the highest classification in the state of Texas. But back to Jasiah Wagoner, the defensive back from Spanaway, Washington, just committed to the Sooners. This kid is very versatile. I think if you listen to anybody break his game down or go watch his game film for yourself, you'll see a kid that's very physical, someone who plays with an edge to him and can play both outside and inside. He can be your corner in the boundary. He can play in the field. He can be a nickel. He can play in the nickel. I think where he could really thrive is as that boundary type corner where he's up playing some bump and run, playing physical with the receivers, helping with run support. I think if you look at OU's depth chart, in my opinion, where he will probably see the field the fastest is at the nickel spot, because if you look at the guys that are there now, they will not be returning next year. The Sooners are a little bit older in the nickel compared to, say, the safety and even the cornerback spots. But I do think that he'll be on the field early. I think he's a kid that could come in and contribute pretty fast. I think once he gets under Venables, gets in the system, he's going to do some really special things with the Sooners. And I hate to throw out this comparison, and I want to make sure I'm clear when I say this, as far as a former cornerback that played under Venables who actually went on to be drafted in the first round. If you look at them both coming out of high school, Wagoner's not quite as big as this guy height-wise. Wagoner, he's about, I think 170 is what he's listed at. He obviously will need to add some weight when he gets to the collegiate level. But look at A.J. Terrell, okay? Clemson defensive back, first round to the Atlanta Falcons. Coming out of high school, he may have been rated a little higher. I think one service had him as a 5-star, but for the most part, he was considered a 4-star recruit. Very, very raw, had a lot of talent, had great ball skills, and was very, very physical. Now, Wagoner may not be as big, but I think he compensates for that with his technique. He's a little bit more fundamentally sound, but I think you could see a fair comparison between those two defensive backs as far as what to expect in Venables' system. I'm not necessarily saying they're the same guy frame-wise, talent-wise, but as far as how they can be utilized and how they can thrive in Coach Venables' defense and in his system, I think he's a fair comparison to go look at. And hey, A.J. Terrell ended up becoming a first-round pick, and he's playing with the Falcons. Not saying that's what Jasiah Wagoner will be, but I'm also not saying that's what he could evolve into. So very big get, continues the momentum for the Sooner football recruiting, especially here in the month of July. Like I said, they've just got this is their 8th recruit, 6th that is a 4-star or higher. Sooner fans, if you're watching, let me know what you're most excited about getting this kid coming up to Norman. Or I should say coming down to Norman. He's coming from the Northwest. But let the good times keep rolling for the old Sooners, man. Boomer Sooner. They are on fire in the month of July. It really feels like it's going under the radar because of some of the coverage some other teams are getting, but this is a very special class the Sooners are bringing in, and I'm excited as a football fan to see what Venables and his team and his staff do with this group that's coming in next fall.